That was abruptly weird on how all of a sudden that file just ended. I'm really sorry. Good evening, everybody. It is Sunday. It is uh, from the barracks. So we're going to be talking everything about Operation Bad Blood 2022. That's going to be in New Milford, Pennsylvania, up at EMR Event Park. I'm Joker from Players One. Of it with me is Ian and Moondog. They're a host of the event, and then Carbon, who I have no idea what affiliation they have. So,
Well,
uh,
I'm the
well,
CEO of DuSec,
yes.
so
okay, what's up? What's up, Lone Husky? How you guys doing? All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start building this up and start talking a little bit about like the previous games. Let's get some membership, some viewers coming on. I can see the numbers already starting to tick up. So, Moondog, in the future, how do you want me to identify what Bad Blood is? Is it Moondog Industries or
Oh yeah, for I for I guess for insurance reasons for sure. It is it is this is an annual charity airsoft event that is put together by Moondog Industries and sponsored by evic.com. And that's been our long-standing event sponsor for this game. And this game's gone on for well over 12 years now, and we donate half of the proceeds for this airsoft event to a blood related charity. And for the last couple of years, it's been the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation.
and that's pretty awesome. Ian, introduce yourself, please, sir.
Hi, I'm Ian. I am Moondog's second in command here, and my main responsibility is rules enforcement and making sure that everybody out on the field is playing safe, playing fair, and having a good time.
Right on.
And then obviously we have Carbon from Deus Ex. So,
yes, sir.
all right. So some people are starting to trickle in here. I see most of it's coming in. Remember, guys, if you're commenting anywhere else, Moondog, you might want to open up your YouTube, pause pause this video or your video on your stream because you're essentially repairing it there
Oh, okay. Sorry. So I should pause it on YouTube or pause it here?
on YouTube. If you open
Okay.
up your YouTube and the video that's now being broadcasted through your YouTube, pause it and just watch the chat because sometimes questions might come in from that side.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We can only see the chat comments that come in from my side. All right. So I guess I should have like you already have one watcher there now. Try to take maybe it might just be you. All right. Let me go ahead and put this up here real quick. We'll go ahead and put our first link up, which is for evic.com. So if you guys are wondering where to get your tickets for Bad Blood 2022, go ahead and go to evic.com/product/1066. All right. So, Moondog, the floor is yours, sir.
Oh, sure. Okay. So before we get started talk, I wanted to talk about the game mechanics and how the game flows. For those of you who are watching who haven't attended the event and might be interested, what's one of the issues like the last game is that we've been doing this for so long that I kind of assumed everybody knew about how the game worked, and so we had a lot of new players come out last year, and they were totally clueless. Now we put a lot of effort to put out a lot of the background material online, as well as a very well thought out and and thorough player packet. But of course, many players still did not either download the player packet, knew there was a player packet, or read the player packet if they had access to it. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to for this and for any other live streams we do, just to take an opportunity to talk about how the game works and answer any questions about that. But before I get started on that, I just wanted to bring up a serious topic here because of some really unacceptable behavior that seen. I'm going to officially announce the banning of both Jada and Will Smith from this event. So
How long's the ban? How long's the ban?
You know, for at least 10 years, or until the academy says that they're okay to come back on.
How long's the ban? How long's the ban? Oops, sorry. um, that's awesome.
Well, there goes two of my players. What's going on?
But
Um,
in all seriousness, and we have had very few problem players, and usually we've taken care of them off to the side. But it's one of the great things I have to say. It's one of the best attended events in terms of just overall everybody's sort of maturity level, and everybody knows that they're doing it for charity. So maybe they just sort of bring a better attitude to the event. So we've thankfully, knock wood, haven't had too much, at least not any more than your typical airsoft event. So we're hoping that stays the course.
that's one of the things I actually like about this event and why it's one of my go-to events every single year.
Well, thanks. When we try to keep it, we try to keep it family friendly, but one of the points, the reason why EVIC has been such a long-standing supporter of this is they really wanted to have an event that got new players and younger players into the sport. And that's one of the things we got for anybody who organizes airsoft events. We do it. We got into it for the fun, and so I always try to make sure that stays a priority in all the events. Even though that's why we try to. I mean, we started out as trying to be a little more milsim, but it's milsim light. So take that with a grain of salt. Just cut some new play slack, and everybody's going to have some fun. So, one other announcement I'd like to make: new this year, we're going to have a live band play after the event. One of the former players, or I shouldn't say former, he's still planning on playing this year, is in a band in Albany. They're a pop punk band, kind of Blink 182 esque. And he even says that they're very inspired by early aughts, late 90s pop punk, and they volunteered to play a mini gig after the end of game raffle. So stick around after the game and enjoy the music. If Joker, I think Joker might have posted a link to the band's promotional website. So if you want to hear some of their music, you can check them out.
Yeah, I mean, you can simply go on there. You can click on either one of the links that's either inside of YouTube or I know it's really long right there, but it's definitely on the main page, the new community page that you set up for Operation Bad Blood.
Yeah, and we'll be posting up more things on there. Thank you, Joker, for that suggestion. I know we've had some glitchy issues with Facebook in the past with announcements on the events page. Some people couldn't post up questions in there, so we're setting up a Facebook group just for players and people interested in the event as well. So if you haven't joined up, please join up, and I'm sure Joker can post up some links, and I'll put some links as well on my YouTube channel to get access to that if you can't find it.
So that link is. You're jumping all over the place. You make me jump through the hoops here.
Don't. I meant after this call, so don't mean to make you jump through hoops here. Okay.
No, I'm only kidding.
So,
I'm actually posting the stream to just about every group I'm in right now, so we can get some more viewers to see this. I cannot stress this enough when it comes down to this event. It's one of the most unique events that I've gone to, from everywhere from how you guys respawn, what the gameplay is like, the fact that you go nonstop, and it's at a really awesome AO that has multiple different feels to it when you're playing. It's not simply like EMR Event Park is just not simply, oh, here's some woods ball, here's some indoor. You actually have like almost 7 different unique feels of woods ball, and including Tipman Town, the castle, and everything else. So it really is a unique place.
Yeah, and that's really what a lot of the impetus for this event. I mean, this is the second venue that we've had it, just because we've outgrown the first place we held the event, and it really grew out of my desire at the time to one, have a game that pretty much spanned the entire day. Because usually when I've gone to airsoft games, we would go there, and there would be a morning game, and really two or three games, because we usually there would be a lunch break, and then after the break, some of the people would trickle in, and some people would go home, and it really didn't feel like one cohesive day of one big a realistic battle. And the other thing that always that bothered me with the previous airsoft games that I went to, that I did still enjoy, but one was that it felt a little too set piece and small. I mean, I've played at events at large places before, like Skirmish in Pennsylvania, and it's a huge AO, but you only get to play like one field at a time, and that's nice. But you feel like, oh, I really would have loved to play a little longer in this one field, but nope, we got to go somewhere else. And the other thing about playing a lot of games, usually you're playing in one army, so you're playing one side of the field, and you're always facing one direction, because that's where the other opposing force is. As you almost always, you never really you never get it to explore the entire field unless you, like at the next game, change sides, because you're always defending from one direction. So that's one of the reasons I structured the game as it is. Maybe we should jump into how the game works.
This is your show, sir.
All right. So
I'm here to help facilitate that.
All right.
Hold on. We have a question that has come in. Anthony McLean has asked, will there be a night game this year, and will it be more planned out and coordinated?
Yes, we will have a night game this year, and it is. I'll get you more details about what it is. It will be more planned this year, because we had to hold off on a lot of details to the last minute, just because we're still coming out of COVID last year. So we weren't even sure we were going to be able to have a night game, to be quite honest, until a week before. And so a lot of the details weren't ironed out. But this year we already talked to the field. Tim's behind holding a night game, and we're going to have details up for you.
Okay. Before you move forward, we have another one that has just jumped on.
Hey, it's Headkill.
Headkill is now on.
Great.
Now, if we can get Sin and Dom on here, that'll be great.
So for those of you who don't know, Headkill has been part of Bad Blood since pretty much the beginning. He's the longstanding CO of the Tribals. Nick, did you ever play a CO of one of the other factions? I forget now.
Nope. I've actually started as the CO of the tribal team ever since inception.
Right on. So, for those of you who weren't around back then, I think our first game we had 75 players.
Something like that. Yeah. It was,
yeah.
At upstate New York, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so it's grown since then, quite a bit. We're going to be expecting 1,000 players again this year. So
that'll be fantastic. I mean, my first experience was Bad Blood 2019, and there were so many players out there and so many battles across that map. It was absolutely, each time you turn around, there were people, and you could actually feel it. Last year's Bad Blood, that there was so many less people, it was more easy for us to just walk. I want it back to that 1,000 where it's like I always have to keep my gun up as I'm moving along. If you guys have any questions, feel free to type them up. The only posts I can't see are the ones on Moondog on your.
Yeah, and I saw
YouTube.
that Anthony actually posted in there. I don't know if it mirrored over to you.
Oh, actually, it did. Oh, I thought that came from Twitch. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. It did get paired. Sweet. The pairing's now working.
Yay!
Sin just messaged me. He said he'll be he's running a little late, but he'll be here soon. All right.
All right.
As you were, sir.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about how the game works. So we've got 4 different factions, and they're all separated out by sort of camo type. We've got our green team, and we have a tan team, which that's pretty typical of a lot of airsoft games. I mean, that's pretty much default, right? But we also have a team called the Black Shirts, which, wow, coincidentally, their uniforms are black shirts and are pretty much predominantly black and shadow colored uniforms. And we have Deus Ex, which is pretty much the our used to be our stand-in for U.S. Special Forces. So we always usually we standardize to whatever this is the primary U.S. uniform, and now it is multicam, so or OCP. Yeah.
There's Dom.
Hey, Dom. So Dom is the CEO of the Marxist, and he's been CEO for Marxist for how many years has it been?
5,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to say 5.
4, 5, something like that.
Isn't
Yeah,
it
and
like every time that you've been CO, you've won?
Yeah,
this is true. So
somehow.
It'll-
Not me.
So, for those of you who don't know, Dom is the CEO of the Marxist team, which is the tan team or the desert team, and it actually was a combined team. At one point, we had two separate teams, one being just brown and like solid color brown, and the other being the desert camo colors, and we combined those together. But Dom has been the commander of that team for 5 years, and they've managed to win all of those years. So, I was Dom, as you dropped in here. I was just explaining for the new players and for players who have never come, who are interested in the game, just how the game works. So we talked about the 4 different factions. There a 5th faction, and that is tribals or the locals, and their uniforms are more civilian type. So the sort of unofficial uniform for the tribals are aloha shirts, Hawaiian shirts as they're also called, or boogaloo shirts for those of you who prefer that terminology.
Joker's
And
shirt is perfect for that.
yeah, there we go. So, as in the tribals, you're allowed to wear any civilian shirt as long as it's not predominantly red, because that, as we all know, is our dead color. So, as long as you're wearing any other type of shirt, you're good to go. The tribal team is our spoiler team, is our home team. They're also sort of the equivalent of NPCs in a lot of other games. Their task is to basically shoot at everybody else. But then again, so is everybody's faction. Every faction is looking at the game from that point of view. Is everybody else is their enemy?
We will pop up out of nowhere, cause havoc, and fade away.
Yes, precisely.
And they can be bribed. I know this firsthand.
I don't
gotta watch
condone
the
that, but I
Like
won't
some
stop.
cigars. Just saying.
Don't turn your back to him.
And we have Liam, who's joining us. We have Lima, who is the CEO of Black Shirts. Oh, you're on mute.
Nope.
No. Hello.
Hello.
Lima's still on mute.
Michael Jordan.
There's the Michael Jordan of Bad Blood, that long-haired heartbreaker, Dom Slaughter.
Oh, God.
And Sin will be here in a little bit. He's running a little bit late. And guys, I'm just here to look pretty. And then everybody else of importance is above me. And I totally did not put the order preference of, the most awesome CO on the right there up top.
Uh-huh.
So, Joker, obviously you're not biased, even though which
Yeah.
faction have you usually played on?
I'm always on Marxist. That's the side. I have a rule when I go to these events, to any event, that if I go up there and I go a particular color, by hell or high water, I am always on that color, regardless. So there is no changing. There is no switching sides. So I'm there for the ups and the downs. Now, I'm not saying that just because I showed up, we haven't had a losing streak at all, but I've not known a defeat at Bad Blood yet.
Oh, I have.
I don't think I'm ever going to know a defeat at Bad Blood. But I'm sorry. Leon's got me cracking up here. I'm trying.
Well, hopefully Liam can get his phone or what have you working.
I'll be on now.
I didn't even kick him out either. um,
Box.
He'll
when
be
it
back.
That's
really
for the box.
for the box. So, oh. I'll wait till I see that. Virtue has just joined, but I don't see any. There he is.
Oh, here's a question. What do we expect when it comes to team bunkhouses, especially for new players? For the bunkhouses, the field EMR does reservations for them. So contact them directly. You can organize folks to take over entire bunkhouse if you pay up for it. But usually they're organized ad hoc by teams that are attending, per faction. Usually the COs don't handle sort of reserving a team bunkhouse. Hopefully that answers your question. But check with the EMR in terms of reservations for both bunkhouses and for camping. They have a large camping area for folks who want to bring out tents.
Ian, do you want to try
Okay.
talking this time? See if it works.
You guys hear me?
Yeah,
Now we can.
All right, rock and roll. Cool. All right.
And we have Virtue on.
Hang on, my
Hi,
laptop.
Sam.
Hang on.
All right. Hey, can you
I'll
guys
be
hear me?
right back.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, outstanding. Sorry.
So Virtue is the CO of Greens, General Greens team, and all the teams have a backstory. Perhaps we can get into that at some other point. But I just wanted to give an overview of how the game works for new players coming in. So getting back to all the teams, so we have our 5 different teams. So none of the teams can ally in this game. So there almost is never a single team that dominates. Whereas oftentimes if you're playing like a greens versus tan team, inevitably one team has, unless it's a rare occasion where everybody's super even, there's always one team that tends to have either more players or more stronger players or a stronger position, and the other team ends up feeling perhaps a bit dominated by by lunchtime and kind of a little dejected, and it kind of brings down the game for everybody. What I wanted to do is create a game where there were so many teams out there that everybody had a chance to feel like they can make a difference out there. So we have 4 different teams of faction players, and we have our staff team of tribals, and each of the 4 teams is tasked with the same mission, and that is to bring their specialist players to find blood sample boxes on the field, and they look like this. They're ammo boxes, and inside of the ammo boxes are special stamps. Now, only the specialist on your team, there'll be 10 of them, is authorized to get access to inside of this. They have sample cards. They're the only ones with the sample cards. But as a team player, as a faction player, your job is to find these on the field. They'll be somewhat hidden on the field, and radio in to your faction and vector in your specialist or specialists to get access to the stamp box that you find, and protect them until they can get there and get their stamp, and you can get out there. So unlike a lot of other games where it's about taking land and holding it, that's the opposite of a bad build game. Your job is to try to find these boxes around the field, but it really is not that advantageous for you to just hold on to the area around a box, because one, eventually your forces will start getting really thin as you start trying to protect a box. But the other thing is, and you may not have realized it, that's the tribal team's job. So there's always going to be somebody defending and protecting a box, and that's going to be the tribal team.
He said box.
Box,
For the box!
The box for
And
the sample.
if anyone has played since we've moved to EMR, they know that I'm notorious for kicking teams out of areas because they just want to just defend. And I'll give you 10 minutes. I'll give you 15 minutes. But if you perch up in that castle, I'm going to kick your whole team out.
Yeah, this is not a game for camping.
I'm weirdly I'm the heavy, and I'll throw you out. I will push you to the farthest reaches of the field if you just feel your mentality is to just hold on to that castle all day long, or
I've already had 3 people
hold
message me
on
about the
to
castle.
other things. You just yep, you're out.
Oh, what's the message on the castle? Was there a question on that?
No, I've already had 3 people tell me their general patent strategy of taking the castle on Blackshark. I'm like, you're not going to be taking the castle. Trust me.
Okay, here's the thing for you players. The EM, if you haven't been to EMR, they have a really nice, a really beautiful, amazingly built play cast. I mean, combat castle. In fact, 2, but the other one's older and is in much more dire need of repair. So
It's the combat bungalow.
so they're fixing that one, but we will have. And I have to double check with the field owner if he was able to affect repairs to actually get access to the bottom floor. It may not be. We're we're all. Well, the world is the world what it is as it is. If anybody's had to buy any plywood or go to a lumber store, you know that how expensive stuff is right now. So the repairs that he was planning on doing to the older castle may not happen. But in any case, there will be one really awesome castle. Here we go, photo of it. Everybody who's never been to the game before, please experience the castle. But the game the castle is not the end all be all of the game. The field is immense. Go for your own good. Go see the rest. Go play the rest of the field. Go sling plastic at the rest of the field. You'll enjoy it so much more. But definitely spend some time, assault the castle, defend the castle for a little bit, have some fun, but move on.
If you're a
Look,
That would be my
still
advice. What do you guys think?
don't go to the castle.
I mean, definitely
29
experience the castle. And if you're not on green, go to the castle, bring some picnic lunches, hang out there all day, and have a great time.
There you go.
Yeah, experience it for the hell that it is, but don't think that you're going to stay there all day long. It's just it's counterintuitive to the game. You're just ruining it for yourself, really.
I'll just tell you all from my personal experience that 2019 game that was designed. I guess Sean Barth is the one that set that up. I think for that one. That game that was some of the best firefights I had inside that fort at night, shooting up while the team was trying to shoot down and try to take us out. It was awesome.
Yeah, the best way I can describe that castle is it's the crazy hot chick at the bar. Everybody's staring. Everybody wants to go over there. It's going to be great for 2 weeks, and then it's just going to go downhill from there.
Exactly.
Hi, Chuck. Rooster's in here. That's Rooster. What up?
Oh, that's Rooster. I'm excited for this one. I'm excited going back, so much so that I canceled another obligation because they decided they were going to plan it the same weekend as Bad Blood. I was like, nope, I'm going to Bad Blood before.
Oh, thank you.
Damn straight.
Operation Lion Claws Firestorm 3, they had to reschedule, and of course they didn't check with me, and they scheduled it for that thing. I'm supposed to be on staff for that, but I'm not now. I'm going to Bad Blood. Moondog. So one of the unique aspects of this event is how people, the medic rule and how people respawn and all that.
Yes. So, one of the things I wanted to do is try to keep the game moving, but also try to interject some reality to the event. And one of the long-standing players that we had, so the CEO, former CEO of the Tribals, Freedom. He's a former Marine sniper, and we had a long chat about what medics really do in a battle situation from his experiences in Iraq. And one of the things that I understand how a lot of medic rules work and played under them in a lot of airsoft games. So this one's a little different. We're not going to have medics go out there and sort of lay hands on you like a cleric in D&D and just magically heal you, after holding on to you for a minute or whatever or tying. Instead, you're going to go back to respawn, which is normal. In a lot of games, you go back to respawn, but in this game, we have a stationary respawn and we have a mobile respawn, which we call the triage, and we have a staff member holding up a marker flag, and this is going to be a pool weenie.
Pool noodles.
Pool noodles. So it's easy to spot. So we did try flags for a couple of years, and we still have them stored somewhere.
No, we don't.
And we-
I made a point to beat those to hell whenever
Okay.
I could.
well, yeah. So anyway, we did have
He's
flags,
got to
but
have fun somehow.
it became a safety issue, especially because you have to have a flag pole with them. So yeah, it became a safety. But anyway, what you look for is your pool noodle for your faction, and that is your respawn point, and that moves along with your staff player. But that allows you, if you stay with your army, which is, if you're joining an army, you'd think you stay with your army rather than, oh, I'm on this team, I'm just going to go wander off by myself. That's not really how armies work. So if you join an army, you stay with your platoon, with your company. So you go with your army, and with that army trailing behind them is your basically like your mobile hospital, which is in the form of your pool noodle, which is where you spawn, and you will spawn every 10 minutes or so if you go there. And those areas are sort of temporary no camping zones as well, but we keep them. We have our staff members make sure that they stay well behind the front line so they don't get in the way, and they aren't used in a way to sort of shield your team. But this is done to give you the convenience. If you're a player, you're off in one section of the field, you don't have to walk all the way back to your original spawn point. But if you happen, as you're moving around the field with your army, if you happen to be nearer to your original spawn point, you could always go back there and spawn from there. So
I still think we should have to hit them in the face with the pool noodle and scream, "You're healed."
That's the other way we're doing it.
It really is. So for somebody who does, like I do a lot of Milsim events across the country, this is one of the most unique. You don't have to sit there, wait to be medic. You don't have to wait for bleed out. You can walk your happy butt right to the pool noodle, and then the whistle's blown and you're right back in again. That's the thing. I think that's one of the awesome aspects about this game, because there's not a whole lot of medic, sit down and wait, or anything else. It's get up, walk over to your noodle, get back in the fight.
And it really comes from just taking a step back for new players, or it really comes. It was developed out of a sense of wanting to have some sort of realism. Because if you are a casualty, you won't just be bandaged up, and I mean up to a certain point. If it's a really light injury, you'll put a tourniquet on, and you'll continue fighting with your squad or platoon. Oftentimes they won't even call for us. They'll just quickly patch you up. But if you had a serious injury in real life, they would take you off. They would they would be squads of medics would come in and take you away, and you're not going to be healed, or you're not going to be treated right there at the battlefield. You're going to be taken back to a field hospital, and eventually replacements will be brought in from the rear guard. But it's really tried to be structured more with a realistic mindset. So we got a couple of questions.
Yeah,
sorry.
First, I was going to read it out to you. Is there going to be like separate squads within each faction that'll have different objectives? This is, I guess I can let the COs answer this, but
yeah, please.
That's
it's really up to the
classified.
COs. Yeah.
I ain't talking about it.
but here's the thing: it's really important we have different Facebook groups, and I know Facebook has its own issues, but I'll leave it up to the CEOs if they want to, migrate that off to Discord or somewhere else.
I would say ours has already been migrated.
So there are ways to communicate with your CEOs directly, and it's really up to the CEOs to decide how to split up their forces. I've offered suggestions to CEOs in the past that you create that you split off all your players into 3 different groups and send those 3 groups into different parts of the field, or they can structure them in whatever way they feel is necessary.
I feel like everybody does this except for Marxists. They're actually just one hive mind.
Yeah, man.
Hey, it works for them.
We used
They-
to like do the whole squad structure thing, but like we just mobbing, I guess.
They're like the brown tide after bad tacos, man.
Yeah,
They
it's-
just keep coming.
If you're put
It's
if you're put
insane.
into a squad on Marxist, that means you got in trouble and now you have to work it off. And
I know
It's like a punishment platoon.
I think
Like-
the way I'm reading that question, I'll try and answer without giving anything away. No, there are not quote unquote different objectives. Now, if COs want to break off into squads and maybe task you to do certain things that are going to aid your entire faction or your hive mind in Dom's case, that's their prerogative. But there's only one true objective throughout the entire day. It's to
box
migrate the field
boxes.
and find the different stamps that are available. Now, do we want to get into the CO stamps?
Shut up,
I
Joker.
love
Damn.
He's got that video on like a hot queue.
I don't know what you're talking about at all.
Yep, told you.
Of course.
Why is it not playing?
Oh,
you're so
oh
lucky.
no!
Oh, so let me jump in here before you start playing.
Yeah, don't let him.
For
Don't let
you
him
new
play.
players, just because I'm assuming that there's going to be a lot of new players who've never done this. I did mention that there are stamps in these boxes out in the field. So there are 4 of these, by the way, out in the field.
The box.
But there are 4 additional stamps, and they're in the possession of the COs for each of those 4 factions. So when your objective is to get these all 8 stamps. 4 of them are in the field, and 4 of the other 4 are with the COs of the other factions. And so that part of your job is to take out that the other team's COs, so that you can get your kill squad in and your specialist squads or individuals in to get a stamp from that CO. And that CO is one of the few players who has a long bleed out that they have to stay on the field after they've been hit and they can't move. So that's the opportunity to have your specialist go over to them, get a stamp from that CO. Okay, so.
And if you bring us stacks, it's an easier process.
Did you see that? Did you see that question for you, Moondog?
Oh, sorry.
Ian's
In
on
the private
it.
chat.
Ian's on it.
Okay. While you all do that, so just to get an understanding of what happens on how you do this, you do it just like this.
Listen, I can drink 151 straight. I can drink this. Wow. Really? Don't even do it again. Really?
Did I just shoot you right there? You want?
All I could hear the whole time was the guy that had to adjust his motor height to the left of you.
So for those of you who were wondering what was going on right there, all that heavy breathing, that was Joker. He walked in to the middle of Virtue's command area and just took out everybody around him, including Virtue, to get.
I was able
the
to
stamp.
walk
He just
right in.
walked. But here's this is the thing. The great thing about this game is that there's so many players everywhere, and you just really have to keep your head on swivel and just keep your mindset that there could be enemy everywhere. And whereas a typical game, where's your spawn point, the enemy is that direction, and they're always going to come from that direction. There is no enemy direction in one direction that the enemy is going to come from in a bad mount game. It's 360. They could be coming from anywhere because the spawn's everywhere.
As well as the tribals.
I'm sorry, is Joker done masturbating?
Right, man. I was like, come get your girl in check. He's the only one that's entertained by it, I swear.
Who, me? Of course I am. I laugh at that video every single time it comes up. Every
I
single
bet.
time.
Dude, he's got it on his phone. He treats it like a baby. Anytime Airsoft comes up, he just whips out his phone. He's like, hey, look at this.
No, I have the new video for that. That's that one dude that ran and killed like 30 plus people at Bone Strike. That was actually a pretty awesome play.
Said bone.
But
So I see a question up here.
Well-
Evic, Matt. You mean well, I don't think there's any. Yeah, I think he meant Matt. I'm not 100% sure he will be, and I'll find out from Evic as it comes, because it'll all depend what other schedule or other events they get booked for. So I don't know yet as of yet, but he's come to quite a few. So it wouldn't surprise me if he'll be there this year, but I haven't got a confirmation on that.
Man, I need to mute that. Sorry about the feedback.
And no worries.
Wish I could quit you.
You love me so much, I don't want to hear it. Again, when it comes down to this event, it's so unique. There's so many different awesome places to go. One thing that hasn't been said yet is the cost. The cost of this is also very, very enticing for a lot of people. It is $50, and there's essentially, was there a decision made about the night game yet?
I'm pretty sure it's on, but I don't have the details of it yet. And but we're a go for it.
So you have Friday night game, you then have Saturday, then you have the Sunday the Dead Blood game. I mean, you guys have nonstop action now throughout the entire weekend. Hopefully this time I won't go home looking like I'm a human pig cushion.
Oh yeah, you
or
will.
Like I got the measles.
You will.
No, I won't. I'm actually going to remember my padded shirt this time. Okay.
That's like the sign of a good weekend. Come on, don't be a girl.
No, the only time I got shot up like that was at the Dead Blood portion because I forgot
Oh
my
yeah.
padded shirt.
Well, you know what I should mention? We should talk about that for just a little bit.
That's cool though.
On the Sunday after the main game and after the the big raffle and everything, and people are starting to pack up and head home because obviously they got work the next day. But for those of you who can stick around, at least through noon on Sunday, I run a zombie game in the morning that basically is just like the sound. It's kind of sounds. It is Bad Blood, but with zombies. Where we run it with zombie rules, where you still have an objective of trying to find stamps on the field, but it's structured a little bit differently in that I give everybody a little sample card, so everybody has a chance to try to find stamps in the field. In the past, I've run it with rubber stamps that you have to stamp on your card, and last year I ran it with stickers. So I may do that again this year, but we'll have stickers hidden on the field, and whichever faction, and the factions will shift depending on who's sticking around for the game. But whichever faction brings or individuals who can bring the most stamps on their card, most stickers on their card by the end of the game, and it's still alive because again it's a zombie game, so you can get turned into a zombie. And in this game, there's no respawning from zombie. You're a zombie, but whoever brings it back will get a sort of a bonus door prize. Who brings back the most stamps on their card. There are limitations because obviously it is a zombie game, so we know you're going to get shot at from a lot closer than usually is typically safe for a typical airsoft game. So check the event listing as well as the player packet for the restrictions. We try to keep it at 300 FPS and lower, and we also restrict it. No AEGs, just it's a pistol and a pump game. It's old school in that respect. But it makes the game more fun and more challenging at the same time to restrict the weapons in that respect. So just check the player packet for more details on the zombie game.
Yeah, it's like Joker's right. It's $50 for. This is gonna sound weird when I say this. This is the cheapest event of the year that I do as far as cost goes, but is the most intense event out of the year that I go to. Like it is basically $50 for 3 events in one weekend, and I have never been more exhausted after events. And I've done literally 40-hour events. Bad Blood, I go home. Somebody else is driving because I'm in the passenger seat looking like a mummy.
Again, it's just, yeah. Thanks. This was I started this game to have fun and to raise money for charity, and which part of the fun is I try to try to keep the cost down, but still have enough put aside for the charity. But we want to make it accessible to everybody.
It's insane. So for the cost of your ticket and camping, it's half the cost at almost any other event. Like it's ridiculous. That's probably why we end up with a lot of new players to the sport in general. But like it's a blast, man.
So we have a question. The location is EMR Event Park. It's in New Milford, Pennsylvania. It's right near the New York border. It's northeast Pennsylvania. So if you know where Scranton is, just drive another 45 minutes north, 45 minutes north, and you're in New Milford. There really isn't anything at the exit, if I can recall,
Not
to get over
really.
there. Yeah.
Nah.
No,
Just drive
it's
until
in the
you
middle
see
of nowhere.
Amish. It's like drive until you see Amish people that drop the F-bomb.
There's like a beer store.
Is it actually open this time? It wasn't open last time.
Yeah, I've never seen it open.
Yeah, I've literally never
We've
seen it
been
open.
in there before.
Oh.
It was open.
Did you buy them out of beer?
Okay.
You and your Marxist
I
freaking
don't
psyops
think
program.
It would have been everybody else, man.
I
got
I
a
just
question
know that
for you guys. Is it
I just
better
know when I
to
had to get
buy
alcohol.
beer in New York or across the border over to New York, or buy it in Pennsylvania?
It's
That's
almost
a-
better
you have to
just
drive a
bring your
long
own.
way to find it in Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
That's a strong question for sure. I have no idea.
it's like a 3.5 hour drive in the PA to actually, if you want booze, it's cheaper to just bring your own.
Yeah.
This is coming from a professional alcoholic.
Okay. So
Yeah, that's like the bad blood tradition is to just like Sean gets blackout drunk every time, and we always win. That's just like part of the tradition. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it, man. Saturday morning, he's always there, just like full tilt. It's crazy.
Well,
the
that's
video
one of the
that
things
had
is
this-
that you've got really nice facilities over there. So everybody's bringing out their
Facilities are great.
barbecues and hibachis, and
And I'm not
It's a gr-
saying I'm going to have karaoke, but I might have karaoke.
ooh,
Oh, we're gonna have a band. We're gonna have a band Saturday.
Yeah,
evening.
why did anybody tell me that? I have a new band. I would play. Damn.
yeah. This is the first time somebody volunteered and said, "Hey, can we play after the raffle?" And I thought about it. I'm like, I guess sure, why not? No.
Hold on, I have to make a statement. Yeah, Joker, live bands at airsoft events.
Yeah, I know. I already told him about that. I was like, "What are you copying off me or something?"
Dude, if I didn't have things pre-scheduled, I would love to see you. I would love to see you play Virtue, especially
Well,
in a
I'm going to be
prison.
DJing. Yeah, it's going to be.
Wait,
yeah,
that-
we have two
that
live
didn't
bands
come
in a
out right.
prison.
Yeah,
Sure
we're gonna
do
have two
got a
live
pretty
bands in a
mouth.
prison. But you are more than welcome to come there, Moondog. Like I said,
Oh, that prison.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crescent, PA. Yep.
Yeah, I've been meaning to come out there.
All the fun stuff happens in PA.
Well, I guess you were. It says something too that for Bad Blood, it's the only game that Chuck is willing to for Rooster to turn around and to end his boycott on Democratic states.
I mean, aren't they all like? I don't understand.
That's just such a weird
wait, hold
thing.
on. Super awesome, Mr. Super Awesome Star says that Marx is going to be taking a hit this year in leadership.
Okay, I hope so. Oh yeah, we did actually. Fucking Cardello went. He flipped. He's for black shirts now, but
Yeah, baby.
that's no big deal.
Oh, we'll shoot him up some more.
I still think we should just all collectively rename black shirts as to the summer camp. Since they like to just, break out the lawn chairs and the barbecue and sit in the castle.
Not this year. Not this year.
I am bringing brisket again.
There we go.
But none for
Flip,
Cordello.
He got poached.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize Mr. Super Awesome Sauce was Cardello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I left.
I
his
won't
ass on
take
red.
all the credit for that flip, but I think I kind of pushed Liam to flip him. So
I mean, that's kind of Ian's thing. I started off as Marxist until Ian was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
you want to go over to the green side?"
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, I mean, I got to put the right people where they need to be, and Marxist has always been, even though when I was a player for the game, we didn't win squat. The leadership was solid. So I got to take the people who know what they're doing and put them where they're best going to serve
Spread the wealth.
the 1,000 cats that are out there.
The
And
millions and
I don't need
millions.
you under somebody else. I need you teaching these people, how not to shoot themselves in the foot.
Marxist, bring me his horn.
Is that a euphemism for something?
Challenge
Not his
accepted.
lower horn.
I will not blow his horn, sir.
You know, the one that's like that one.
Well, we
But
didn't have
Todd,
him
you got to
last year.
keep
We stole
Todd.
one.
I made sure that
Yeah,
was a
Todd's
thing.
awesome.
So
See, it'll be bad for
Todd,
black
yeah,
shirts.
Todd didn't want to leave, man.
Cardella will blow the horn, and then like the Marxists will start attacking them. And be like, "Oh shit, that's not what I wanted to happen." It'll be hilarious. They'll just start coming out of the trees and shit. That's how it works.
Has anybody ever brought a voodoo or a sulfur
Yes.
chauffeur?
Yes. There was a guy last year that showed up on Green Team with one. And I looked at him and I went, "Go put that in your camp. I don't want it to get destroyed." And he says, "I'm going to be careful with it." I went, "No, I'm going to beat you with it because you keep doing it behind my head."
Well, thank you. Thank
I
you.
really
so
want
much.
the one thing I do want to see somebody come out with because of the dedication it would take is a didgeridoo.
I used to have one. They're hard to play.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. That's dedication, man.
Yeah, you gotta like. Oh my god, this is gonna sound terrible. You gotta make your lips vibrate in a certain way. It's like it's so strange.
You
so
stop
strange
flirting with
when it
Cordello.
downhill fast.
I know, right?
Demonetized.
Demonetized. No, we were at one event, and the guy actually wanted to come to Bad Blood, but he couldn't make it. He was my official bagpiper for an event.
Oh,
He
cool.
followed me around playing the pipes. It was awesome.
That'd be cool. That's legit.
Yeah.
I just have Sean Barth drunk playing the Russian national anthem on his Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. It was really easy to find you guys. I was like, aim towards the music. We're bound to hit him.
You mean the 200 guys crashing through the woods wasn't your first clue?
Oh, no. So we did a flank. We came around the side while they were rushing. It was me and like 10 dudes because we were looking for Dom. And we couldn't see or figure out where they were through the mass of bodies. And you just hear this music blaring and Dom yelling. I was like, aim towards the music. We'll hit somebody of worth. Aim that way.
Almost.
That's just the great thing about this entire game, especially if you're back to 1,000 players, man. That is just going to be awesome. Entire armies just moving across this AO. I hope that the grass is back to being chest high on me.
Yeah, I love it when he forgets to cut the grass.
Yeah. You know what? I'll remind him he doesn't have to. It's actually better.
It was so much fun because you just watch people fall over and just disappear. It was great.
Did you talk to him about making the safety briefing shorter?
Yes.
Not the safety part, but like the other stuff.
Yes, yeah, the briefing part. He's aware of that. Yes.
Cool.
He watched the last stream too, and he took notes. I'm sure because he started making comments.
Because we
he
talked
right
afterwards, and he understands it. He took it in stride, so he knows.
That's good.
Yeah,
but let's be honest. He's a great host.
Yes,
he takes immaculate care of that field, even when he doesn't mow. So
we don't want him to mow. That's what we're trying to say.
Yeah,
it's passion. He's a very passionate person, and once you get him ramped up, man, he goes.
And let's not forget, I mean, he lives there. He literally lives there with his family. So, yeah, it's home, and you treat it differently when it's home.
Let's actually cover that if you don't mind for a minute. Now, the fact that the field owner Tim does live on the active playing field, so read the player packet, memorize the map, and look at what's in play and what's out of play because there's a house with a child on the field. And if you go anywhere near that house, we're not coming back. So
Don't poop on his doorstep.
stay away. It's not in play. Avoid it at all cost. Don't shoot at it. Don't shoot around it. It's it's a dead zone. Just leave it alone, because the last thing we want to do is really anger a great host for a great charity event that can have 1,000 players that are all benefiting a lot of good things. So let's not screw it up by being stupid.
Oh, and that also applies not just from playing. I think one of the issues was and not recently, but in past events, was just driving into the field to for signing in. If you're I don't know how many parents are watching this for their kids, but if your kid is arriving to the field late, do not drive like a bat out of hell, try to get them to their game, no matter how much they're screaming, I need to get to the game. Drive slowly. Take your time. There's going to be plenty of time to play for him or her to play on the field. They're going to be exhausted. Trust me. No rush.
You will bottom out your Prius.
Yes, it is pothole city on that dirt road anyway. So take it slow.
It actually happened. I was in the Prius.
Oh, really? Literally?
Did they ever get the guy in the Mustang last year's car like out of the pothole?
Oh, I forgot about that.
They might still be there.
So, like, going in and going out, like it looks like New Jersey drive. It looks like you're driving through New Jersey. It looks like a war zone of potholes. And this guy in a Mustang last year on the way in hit a pothole, got stuck. We pushed him out, and I made a joke about don't get caught on your way out. Ha 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 ha.
And he did.
And he did.
That's why I have a truck.
Was it a normal Mustang or was it a lowered Mustang?
I drive a hybrid. I don't speak broken down car.
Okay.
It's Ford. I assume bolts fell out of it or something.
Okay. It isn't like one of Headkill's cars.
No, it was it was one of the newer Cobra. The guy was showing off.
Okay.
You know, because you do that while driving down a dirt road in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, last Bad Blood, I was driving a minivan, so it wasn't that bad.
Oh,
before that, yeah, I used to have a lowered, like little sporty coupe thing.
That's what I'm thinking of. He would show up to the, a lot of airsoft games are played in rather austere conditions or fields, and he would show up in this little rice rocket, and I'm like, how are you going to get through this road? But he managed. He always managed. Never got stuck.
It's not racist when he says it.
Nobody even said me.
Demonetized.
I fully accept what I had there back then. It was a rice rocket.
But like the roads are bad. Like I got to listen to Tim after the last year. He was just. I don't want to say he was upset. He was just annoyed about the amount of people that would just come flying through the gate. He's like, "There's a sign right there with a speed limit on it." I have a feeling when it show up one year, it's gonna be like a 50-foot speed limit sign.
And even then, would there still be some who would be driving down 20 miles an hour through those dirt roads? But anyway,
because as we all know, everybody reads the player's packet, right?
Right. So
there's a player's packet?
It's like an inside joke at this point. The existence of the player packet is like, is there even one?
Hey, I have a question for the viewers here. Is anybody watching this not know that there's a player's packet that they can download? So that would be a good indication that word's not getting out about that. But anyway.
I'm looking forward to this. There's a bunch of the guys from Ohio because I've been going to Bad Blood for this is year 5 of me actually going to Bad Blood. I talk about it all the time. So there's a bunch of kids in my field that are like seeing pictures and things like that, and they're actually coming this year. So I get to disappoint them in person.
Somebody said they didn't know that there was a.
No,
yes.
That's Gert. Ignore him.
Oh, okay. So that's not legit.
Gert literally just started playing airsoft at Syndicate 1 in Pennsylvania back in November. So where can you download? It's right on this link right here.
I promise.
So on there's a couple of different places. There's of course where you buy the tickets at evic.com. They have links there's buttons on the purchase page where you purchase your tickets to download the player packet, a map, and some other helpful documents for the event, including the waiver. Now, the player packet itself also includes a map and a waiver in that PDF. So, it's if you download that, you've got a lot of the documents covered. You can also download the player packet from the Facebook Bad Blood group as well as the events page. If you do a search in Facebook for events, look for Bad Blood 2022, and it's in one of the you can download files.
There's
It's
the
not.
direct link.
Oh, perfect. There we go.
Liam
Joker.
2.0.
Joker, all professional,
Yeah,
prepared for
can't see
this
my phone.
stream. I
So,
love the fact that you're prepared for this, Joker, because during our live stream, you're like, I'll wing it.
yeah, this is
Oh,
awesome.
no, I'm totally winging this too. By the way, it's just that Moondog has been so on point. Everything's in one spot, so I can just go there and click on it. And on top of that, I am also not the host of this. I'm just facilitating. So,
So it's a team effort here.
yeah.
You know, it might be worthwhile since I have all of you out here to cover some things that aren't in the player packet and usually would never put in there. Like, who's got some suggestions of places to stay? I mean, of course, you could stay in a bunkhouse, and the field, and the what? Could you describe some of the facilities that are there for campers in terms of the water, electrical, and in the past they had showers. So, anybody want to chime in on that?
Hey, the bunkhouses are nice. If you can
Campgrounds,
sleep on wood, but if they're nice.
or bring a small mattress and not be a heathen.
Why would I do that?
Yeah, I forgot who I was talking to. Never mind.
No, the
Yeah.
bunkhouses
I can
have
sleep anywhere. I'll be
power.
fine.
Some of them have AC, lockable doors, so you can leave gear in there if you need to.
Yeah.
I can't speak to the
Super nice.
showers, but I know that there are some somewhere. I mean, for considering that you're spending the weekend on a paintball airsoft field, the fact that there are amenities are a huge plus.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah,
came
how
from
many
the world of
airsoft fields
playing,
have that?
playing in the woods and being happy with it. So
Yeah, the showers are awesome for like the first day and a half. I mean, they still there and they still work after that. It's just airsofters.
So the cleaning staff hasn't come yet.
Yeah, I generally I hop on the highway. It's a quick drive down to the truck stop, and I just pay for a shower there.
Oh yeah.
If I need one.
and if you're old like me and your body can't handle wooden bunks, there are hotels in the area. The ones that are closest to the field book up quick. Some of us like to stay about 45 minutes away or so. And it's an easy ride up and good amenities where we like to stay. I'm not going to tell you because then it'll get booked up. But we stay in Dixon City, which is
Before
about
I say
45 minutes
anything,
away.
I'm booking my rooms right now just so I could then mention it.
Well, I stay on the campground for many reasons because a bunch of my teammates show up, and I like to wrangle the idiots. Because as I explained to them, I'm in a semi-leadership role, therefore I expect them to set a good example, and I need to be
Great.
nearby to put in their butt when they're not setting a good example. The campgrounds are awesome if you want to hang out, meet new people. It's great after-hour stuff. You're right next to the field when things kick off. However, if you are allowed after dark, there will be an angry black man in your campsite. Just fair warning. It's happened 2 years in a row. I will show up and stare at you until you slowly turn down your music.
I don't know what he's talking about because we're up being loud as hell until 3 a.m. every year. So
Mm-hmm.
it's big enough for both of us, apparently.
Mm-hmm. You're not near my campsite, apparently.
Oh, there was all kinds of debauchery going on last year. I don't know how you missed it.
I'm old and I like sleep.
Oh, okay.
Sleep is my
So
anti-drug.
It's very fun though. Best time of the year for sure.
Okay, so Tommy Lindsay just posted up that the Holiday Inn Express, which actually is probably the closest chain hotel to the field, that's totally booked up as what. And Also, the area around there has a large energy production. I mean, they do a lot of fracking over there, so all year round, the lot of the hotels have been occupied by a lot of the field workers. So the that's one of the other reasons why the area has doesn't have you got to book early. And I personally I go to the event with my whole family, and I've got two young kids, and my wife has been on board as the head of this for sign in, and we used to stay over at the Holiday Inn Express, but now we've been going up to Binghamton, New York. It's a 45-minute drive, but it offers a lot more amenities for the family, and we don't mind just the extra drive in the morning and at night to get to the field. So there's a lot of places up there because it is a college town. Again, check in, but usually at that time of year in June, all the kids have kids. Right. I'm all the college students have it's the end of the term, so they're mostly gone. There isn't much activities out there, so there's a lot of hotels and motels up there.
All the tax deductions have left. Um,
So that's another place to look into.
okay, Smurf. One time I did that. Okay, one time, maybe twice. I had a soundtrack with like 48 remixes of the song "Bad Blood" by Tay Tay, and that was the alarm sound blaring out of my tent every morning.
That'll get people moving.
Don't look at me like that, Dom.
I've never heard this Bad Blood.
Ugh.
I'll have to
So
check
I
it out.
need bigger speakers. Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
It's again, for those of you guys that are just joining in and all that. This is like one of the events that is a must do for me every single year. So I would highly recommend, coming out, checking a look. The price is right, only $50. You have there's going to be a lot of people out there. And the amount of one thing you haven't talked about is the amount of giveaways you get.
Oh yeah.
For this.
Oh, speaking of which, hold on. Before we get too far on this, Ian and Moondog, we need to discuss whether or not Joker's allowed to rack anything this year.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You shut up. You shut up.
Wait,
Moondog looks you don't remember last year, do you?
rack? I don't understand. I'm
I
not
didn't
getting
break.
the reference.
See exactly. Nothing
Dom
happened.
knows what's up.
Yeah.
Every
Nothing
gun
happened.
he racked during the raffle.
Oh, we were laughing our asses off, man.
He pulled the charging handle
now
right
I
out.
remember. Now I
Look, I barely touched it. Okay.
I remember. I was thinking a whole different, and then not that kind of rack. I was thinking like a rack of ribs because another thing that never mind. Yeah.
He's thinking
Now
about my
I'm hungry.
brisket.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I am bringing a slab of. I am going to be bringing a slab of meat up.
But yeah, no, the sheer amount of stuff for the what is insane.
I will not be opening up any of the areas for the hop ups because I don't trust it.
Yeah, the raffle, when it goes smoothly, which it never does, usually 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah,
At least.
and that's because of just the sheer amount of stuff
Yeah.
that gets donated. Along with Evic brings a ton of stuff to give away. It's not just like one or two AEGs and a pistol. They bring a ton of stuff, but the reason they can do that is because it is a charity event, and a lot of their vendors donate stuff to Evic to give away at the raffle. So every person that goes to the event gets a raffle ticket for starters. So just paying for your $50 ticket, you'll get a chance for a raffle ticket, and they're just, I don't know. It like Ian said, there's at least 30 to 45 minutes of just giving away things, and plus the swag that they toss out. So you won't go home empty-handed if at the very least. You'll get a patch and other goodies.
There was 22 guns last year, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we had the other
22, 23.
sponsors. The other sponsors brought stuff up too.
Yeah,
So
And a
yeah,
box.
Evic sent a bunch. I think Amped and Jackal, the two of the
Hmm.
vendors who were there, donated.
The National
There was
Guard as
the
well.
the
National Guard
National
donated.
Guard gave away some great stuff, and EMR gives away some
Wait, some-
really fun swag.
Oh yeah. So a lot of people come to the event just for that. So I'm not
It's
going to
it's
knock
it's
them for it.
it's worth it. I barely touched it. That's what she said. Yeah, no. So it's become an ongoing meme at other events. Like he was at Joker came up to my field to do. We did a raffle, and people were like, "Don't let him rack it."
I racked it. Nothing happened.
No, Joker's not touching anything this time.
Oh wow.
So I see a comment from
Came from
Smurf I
Ian.
am on.
Oh wow.
And she brings up a good point that um, she's going to be coming there, and she's volunteered to sign for the sign in. For those of you who don't know, this is because it's a charity event. We rely on we welcome help from everybody. If you're a player who is a little older and doesn't want to just start running in, just want a much more reasonable, take your time. We are more than happy to have volunteers at the chrono station. We would need to chrono a ton of folks, so as many as 700 to 1,000 players every morning. We definitely would love volunteers for that. We also are looking for volunteers for the sign-in that my wife handles. If you are a parent who is bringing their kids to the event, instead of just sitting around waiting for them to have their come back so you can drive them home, come and help over at the sign-in, and you'll also get a little bit of swag. Last year we gave away T-shirts and caps and some extra goodies as well for all the volunteers. So reach out to me through Joker's links, and as also you can find contact information on the Facebook page to volunteer for those groups. So we're definitely always looking for volunteers, and I really deeply appreciate it. Okay. Oh. It did, for and a couple of, if I remember, a couple of you, your wives or significant others, have also volunteered for the event. So I know that among the CEOs. So that's too.
Any help is good help. So
Yeah.
Sarah will gladly hold the pool noodle again, and she can't say anything because she's not even watching the stream right now, which is great.
She's been voluntold.
She's gonna get shot in the ass again. I'm gonna laugh my ass off. Let's see here.
Chrono
what
is
Chrono?
where we check the FPS, rate of fire, and joules for all the replicas that are coming out in the field.
And there was a ruling made about the homemade guns, right?
Yeah.
Oh
No.
yes. No homemade guns, no homebrew guns at all at this event. Just
No.
you leave your experiments for YouTube and for home.
As cool as they might look, no.
It's fine for taking pictures of, but that's it. Not for playing on the field.
There was, that. Oh,
yeah,
stop it,
I've
man! You're
always
giving
liked
me
to say,
PTSD about Chrono right now.
yeah, I've always liked to say in the past, not even about the homemade guns. Leave your Franken guns at home. Your projects. You want reliable, because you're going to be out there all day long shooting. I couldn't even tell you how many rounds in the 6-7 hours you're going to be out there. So you want something that's going to work, and it's all if you need to do the whole secondary pistols thing, pistols always get lost. Just be careful with it. But like nothing where you got batteries taped to crap, and just your stuff that works. Yes, it's a fashion show. You want to look great, but just be effective, because when your stuff works, you're going to have more fun. That's really the point, right?
That's
Yeah.
why
Yeah,
I
my
look at
gun
it.
broke. I'm walking to spawn last year, so I was running around without a gun for about half an hour.
COs don't need guns. Liam,
Yeah,
when's the last time you
that's
took a gun
true.
to this
Dude,
game?
most of us have
5
either
years?
given up gun or run a pistol.
Yeah.
I run a pistol for photo ops. That's it. Sorry, there's a chrono. If I fail the test, so I'm pretty sure Anthony will agree with me. He's not here on this. Yes, you can go change your stuff, come back and read chrono. However, you're not doing it at the chrono station. Go somewhere else. Go back to camp, wherever you got to do. Do not start disassembling your gun at the chrono station.
Yeah, you got to clear some space, but you know, I wouldn't want to do that anywhere because never take your age
Uh,
you spend a lot of time on. Take it someplace safer.
Moondog, you are coming in scrambled.
I'm sorry. I was just. Can you hear me now? No.
Dubstep.
are you auditioning for Daft Punk there, sir?
He's got that
Um,
potato internet right now.
Okay. Am I still coming in? All
You're better.
That's
It's
better.
Okay,
audio's,
better.
your
Yes,
audio's better. Your videos,
Videos.
Oh,
is
okay.
horrible.
choppy.
Okay. Well, I was just
Um,
saying that just to back up what Virtue was saying is that if you're gonna need to work on your AG, the worst place to do it would be at the tables there, because if you dropped anything on that grass and gravel, you're never gonna find it. So take your precious AEG that you spent a lot of money on and take it someplace safer, probably closer to the shop to work on.
Yeah, and honestly, if you've been through chrono before with me and Anthony running it, you know how I get when you slow down my chrono line.
yeah.
No
And then
soup
the
for
last
you.
thing you do is
Nope, move.
actually argue with Birchie. If you think that you're going to go walking up to Ian and Moondog and they're going to disagree, you're wrong. Like the
There's
guy
a
that tried
reason
to do
why
it last time.
I picked them to be the chrono officer. So
I gotta drop, guys. Have a good night. I'll see you guys at the
no
game.
worries.
All right, Headkill. See you then.
Actually, it's a good way. Thanks, Nick. It's a good time to wrap up. Are there any other questions that anybody else has up there? And you know what? We'll do one of these regularly if everybody can everybody can jump in like every other week. I'm sure there's more questions for new players as they're finding out about the game.
Yeah, there's one right there.
Yeah.
Amped, Atlas,
Yes.
or those
Jackal.
two
I think
guys
we
will
are-
be- Jackal.
I
is gonna
think
be there.
we have possibly 3 vendors there, and at least 2 of them have experience with gunsmithing for airsoft. So
And
I
I
will
think
say
really
though,
the-
you're going to
the
want to make
keys
sure your
here-
stuff's good to go ahead of time.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Like you've got time now to kind of dial in where you want to be. Now, you guys can disagree, you can agree. FPS is a guide, not a goal.
yeah,
Yep.
So you want to be reliable. You don't need to be right at that bleeding edge limit where the sun shines on an HPA tank the wrong way, and all of a sudden now you're too high. You know what I mean? Like, so you have time between now and the game to actually get all your stuff ready to go, so you're at a comfortable, safe level. So, and let's be honest, chronos these days are not super expensive. So when in doubt, pick one up, and then you'll know. Okay, well, my stock gun is now. Keep in mind, we chrono everything with 0.25 gram BBs. So get a small bottle of those if that's not the weight you already run, and get yourself a chrono and just see where you're at. If you're you're in the 385 to 400 range, maybe look about turning it down a little bit. Maybe you want to drop that spring and get in something a little lighter. You're running something, you're running a bolt action sniper rifle, aim for 450, 460. You don't have to be at that 499.5. It's like I said, it's a guide, not an achievement. You're not going to get a trophy like a
Absolutely.
video game out of this.
It's literally the number one
So-
thing I say on repeat at chrono is, again, it's a limit, not a goal. you're good, and I lock it because guys will sit there and be like, well, let me turn it up. No, keep moving. You're good.
And also
Go.
understand that for the Dead Blood game on Sunday, there's a different chrono requirement, which is
Yes,
actually lower.
much lower. If anything, bring out your old Springers for that game, because that is an ideal game for really low FPS guns.
For joker's
Um,
sake,
yeah.
I'm just gonna bring my bazooka.
right?
One
Look,
thing I want to add for tuning down your gun for this particular game. This game is a little different. It is an endurance game. Usually, you want to tune your to tweak your gear for reliability, because you'll, one, be playing all day, and two, you will probably have never gotten into as many firefights in an event as this one. So you're going to be running a lot of revolutions and cycles through your weapon. So actually tuning it down increases your reliability overall, because there's a lot less stresses on the machinery. So that's just my 2 cents. Okay, we have a specific question about as a sniper, I lock in at 485 and have a steady locked in at 485. Oh yeah, it's
That's one of the things
consistency
in
is
tech that annoys me is people tune their guns to the absolute limit and they get upset when they break because they just spent a crap ton of money building this gun to like a zero limit stress point. I'm like, you understand that you're making it do something it shouldn't do in the first place.
I think Brad here brings up a good point, though. I don't know if he's talking about a bolt action sniper rifle or not, but let's say for the past 5 or 6 years, this game does not recognize the existence of the DMR. So there are no AEG/HPA over 400 FPS. I don't care if you're semi-locked and you've got a pin in it that you can't fire full auto. If it's not a bolt action sniper rifle, it must be it has to follow AEG regular rifle limitations. Okay,
and
Brad, that's great.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite things to tell people when they tell me it's a DMR. I went, cool story.
that's
there's
great.
no DMR here.
I don't care.
Please tell us in the list where DMR is listed.
And one other final thing we constantly get this question, and it's fair. There are no mag limits in this game, and it's not listed in the player packet, and it is bio BBs. So, and those are in the player packet, but you just want to make sure that everybody knows that.
And sport smoke only.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
That's correct.
we got a question from Guillermo. From Gert.
Yeah, don't worry about that one.
Okay.
That's exactly Virtue. Can we also get a ruling on the Flak 10? Can the Flak 10 please be banned?
Dear God, please.
You
guys may fire
I'm
me
not
because
even
I'm not
familiar with
letting
that
it through. I'm not letting it through Chrono. You may fire me for it.
It shoots 10 BBs, and it's mag fed shot. It's a 10 BB shotgun that's mag fed that they can adjust with an Allen key on the field. Can we just say no?
So
That
here's
sounds-
the problem
HPA.
with it's not always HPA. That one was HPA. It's green gas primarily, but it can be HPA tap. The problem is it's got 2 systems, well 3 really. One adjusts the choke, so you can actually get a group about that tight of 10 BBs, which is problem
hurts.
number 1. Problem number 2 is it's got a variable FPS system, not a variable pressure system. So what you do is there's an Allen key you can adjust, and it expands the cylinder to increase the FPS. So you can
you're
turn
saying that
lock.
we can't lock that.
Cannot
Correct.
lock it.
And then no, absolutely not.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Even if there was a way to do it, it's just like some people are brought up using safety tape seals, but I can go buy those at Home Depot, and I had idiots brag to me about how they cheat that system because they don't realize at my field we use embedded reps. So a guy literally was bragging to me about him cheating.
Now, I understand people who have that replica where they're coming from, and
Yeah.
for milsim games or even honestly green versus tan games, somebody wants to allow it, somebody wants to allow it. This is a charity game with 1,000 people. Do you really want to be that jerk? Do you? because I will
to
find
be fair,
you.
that gun
I
is
will
actually
find you.
banned at 99% of events and fields.
It hurts. I know.
Because
I got
even
shot
though
with
the
it.
you can lock the tourney lock, but with the variable FPS system, it has no effect on the tourney lock.
So yeah, okay. The official announcement, no. Yeah, the
Thank
unofficial
you.
announcement, no. So
Yeah, it's like, oh god, I hate that because the Flak 10 is the Flak 5, and literally we had somebody, I think it might have been Joker, it was like at 500 FPS to the chest because the guy went out and turned it up before we realized that's where the adjustment was because it was tourney lock.
He got me
When
in
he-
the arm through my padded arm, and it just took a month and a half for it to heal because it indented into my skin. And almost, I think it might have actually stuck in and was an embedded BB. It just popped out when I flexed my arm. So,
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, that's a hard no.
it's
Yeah.
the Jeff Goldblum paradox where people do things and it's like you spent so much time thinking whether or not you could, you never stop to think if you should. Like, why would you make this gun?
Airsoft Innovations.
It's the same as the Strifer, which I think is, I don't know if we have an official ruling at Bad Blood, but it's one of those guns that I will never allow pass if I'm in charge of chrono or safety.
and you
It's a
are.
yeah, it's a gravity fed 15,000 round hopper gun. There's no hop up. There's no regulation. It's literally an open closed valve. It's a BB hose.
So it's like 190 BBs per second.
They now actually classify it. It's no longer an airsoft gun. They're not selling it as an airsoft gun anymore. They're selling it as a less than lethal defense option.
Oh, okay.
But it still shoots 6mm BBs.
All right.
There's a problem right there. All right, so let's wrap this up. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna go do a round robin here, and I'm gonna ask everybody to just a final word, whatever it is, or choose your Mad Libs. Virtue, you're up first.
Well, it's going to be our second or another attempt
That
at
didn't work.
dethroning the Marxist team. No matter what, we're going to have fun and we're going to do dirty, dirty things to their box.
Ooh.
Oh.
That sounds like a threat.
All right, Carbon.
I'm always so excited to play Bad Blood every year and meet all the new people that come out, and it's by far the best game of the year. So I'm excited to get it going and can't wait for June.
Cool. Limo.
Stay away from the castle.
Take the castle. Got it.
Dom.
For the box!
For the box.
Yeah, okay, that's perfect. I think that's the perfect end for tonight. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being on, and I'll get back to you. We're gonna try to see when everybody's schedule. We have so many moving parts, and I'm respectful of everybody's time. So it'd be nice if we could do this every other week, if not once a month, until the game starts. I'm sure there's other new players coming in who haven't bought their tickets yet, but would have questions. And so we're here to answer your questions and make this Bad Blood even more fun than last year. Anyway, thanks. Thanks again to everybody who had to leave earlier on this chat, and to Ian, and especially Joker for hosting this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And remember, everybody, get your tickets now. Mark's is going to sell out pretty fast, so you might want to get up on that real quick. And that's it for me.
All right. If anybody needs any questions, look us up on Facebook, the Facebook group. You can also get our contact information through the Evike page and their customer service. You could also find directly contact me through my website, moondogindustries.com. There's a contact page there. And if you have any questions, just reach out. Thanks, everybody.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, let your BBs fly true, your opponents